You know we're live now, yeah? You do know we're live, Warren. The whole world can hear you, Warren.
Yeah, you're missing. Hang on a sec.
I reactivated my camera.
Did you?
Oh, oh Lord, look at it. Oh
We
my
got
gosh, that is
Oh
horrible.
boy.
How's
Try
it going?
dropping out. Try dropping and coming back in.
Okay, let me do that. I'll close this. I'll close this one, and then I'll come back.
All right.
Let's see.
All
Oh, you
right.
know what? Maybe I'll do.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us this week on another edition of Slot Car Weekly, where me and Harry trip through the slot car world and make our way to your tracks and your homes. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. As usual, we got a lot to go over. I think the main point today is definitely what's been going on with the Canada Post strike. I know it's not really a slot car topic unless, of course, your slot car gear is stuck in the mail. And I know I've been totally crushed with emails. Apparently, I'm the slot car. I'm the slot car guy in relation to Canada Post. Apparently, so I found the best video that I could that describes absolutely what's going on from a very non-biased position. It's 10 minutes long, but it's the best thing that I could find to describe to you guys absolutely what's going on without putting my opinion in. This is not a night about opinions. Everyone can form their own opinion at home, but at least we'll get a gist of exactly what's going on and where your parts are and when you'll be getting them back. So
I know
Okay,
where my parts are, Dan.
where?
Well, I looked in the mirror tonight and they're still where they always were.
Yeah, hanging too low, brother. Hanging too low. All right. All right. So let's get going tonight. So in the house we have,
hey,
hey, Pat Slots. Thanks for joining us, brother. I hope you're feeling good. We're
Hey,
thinking
Pat,
about you.
welcome along.
Good to see you, brother. I appreciate you being here. Fantastic.
Great
Robert
stuff.
Fish. Thanks for
hey,
joining us,
I'm going.
Robert. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And we have
Oh my
Greg.
gosh.
Clearwater 124. Welcome along, Greg.
Welcome, Greg. Thanks, brother. Easy's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Easy.
You guys sit over here for a second.
Okay,
DTS
he will.
Slot Racing.
Bye, all.
Bye. Bye.
As you can
So
see, Warren's having a little bit of technology issues.
he'll be back. He'll be back. I'm
Yeah.
almost sure of it. Oh, we found him.
Oh Lord, I
We,
give up.
we found him. It's his
Am I back?
480p resolution. Just bugging you. Hey, there's a hand there. All right.
This is nuts, man. This is like this is. I don't know. I'm.
Maybe it'll smooth out, Warren. Just
I.
hang tight a sec, brother.
Hey, all.
HSF
Bonjour, Earl.
Racing is
Bonjour.
in the
Hello.
house. Thanks for joining us, HSF.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the phone.
And welcome, Todd. Todd from Doju Slot Car Racing. Welcome along, Todd.
Toju's in the house. Thanks for joining us,
I'm
Todd.
just gonna put the. I put. Oh my God.
Metal.
I'm trying to find a.
Oh, De Leon's in the house. Awesome,
Hey,
brother. Thanks
Dion.
for joining us.
Welcome along.
Oh, I see a familiar face. I just watched your video. This guy. Thanks for joining us, Billy. I just watched your walk video.
Who's that?
This is Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Sunday.
I can't see anything.
Oh,
this is crazy.
So fast. Thanks.
No.
Hi, Ron. Welcome along.
Okay, so
here.
ENTP Julius. You missed him. Welcome along.
We missed who?
ENTP Julius.
Yeah,
he's the guy
hit him up. That's Billy. Billy.
That's Billy's personal sort of channel thing.
One of them. Yeah.
One of them. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, welcome along, Billy.
So let's get this going. Oh, Mike's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Mike. I appreciate it, brother. Outrageous Diecast with Colt. Colt's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Colt.
Welcome along. And hi, Mike.
Okay, guys. So like I said, we have a 10-minute video to watch. So everybody who's watching this right now will get to see it, because it's probably I'm gonna get demonetized for when this airs. So what this will do is explain everything that's going on with Canada Post right now, especially if you have gear, slot car parts, or you're like our friend Warren here, who's got a few things mixed up in the mail right now, and we'll get to that later. But for now, I want to thank everyone for being here. The next 10 minutes, it will explain everything. So hang tight, guys. This is a really good watch. I wouldn't be bothering to show you unless I thought it had absolute value. So here we go.
Guys, if any of you are not particularly interested in it, you're like, oh, you're in Europe, doesn't affect me, make yourself a cup of tea, don't leave us, sit there, come back to us in 10 minutes, we're still here, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Cheers, Harry.
So here we go, guys. This is the video, and let's let it roll.
Andrew Chang. Okay, you've no audio, Dan.
No audio.
Yeah.
No audio. Did I forget to share the audio? Probably.
Bear with us, guys. Bear with us.
No audio.
I'll do the audio.
No sound. What is happening?
I'll cover for you while you check out the sound. Just give me a second. Oh, this is really terrible situation, and I've been waiting for some toys to come in the post. Yes, I agree.
No sound. Okay.
Assessment of parties. Yeah,
Got no audio.
Is this possible? Oh, yeah, it's really a terrible situation.
Okay.
It's done.
So,
what happened, Dan?
Apparently, I can't get video. I can't get sound out of this. So, I've already thought of a way around that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to say what I'm hearing, and you guys are not. So, basically, I'll be explaining. So, what's happening right now is Canada Post is asking for a raise of 11.5% for their annual increase over 4 years. Okay. Now the union is asking for 26%, which, as you can tell, is a pretty large gap. Pardon me. The union is asking for 23.8% over the 4 years. So when you think about it, that's pretty large. And when in terms of a gap, how close they are, they're not. That's not even in the same ballpark. Now, the special negotiator, he actually removed himself because there was no progress going on. So that's where they are with the inflation part of it. Okay. Now, he goes on and talks about the inflation rates for the last year or so. And what Canada Post Union is doing is they're taking the higher end of what the last rate was, which they're looking at it as a high end at 6%. So that leads them to 24. That's where they get the 23 from. Canada Post is not willing to go really over 11. So that puts them up against that. Now, when you're talking in terms of an average, it should be somewhere right in the middle, in fair play for both sides. When they're talking about what the union wants, they're putting it in relation to dock workers in Newfoundland who just got raises of 20%. So they're looking at that, and currently, right now, Quebec dock workers are locked out for the exact same reason. Time out. You can't hear you, Warren.
Turn your mic on, Warren.
Yeah,
we could lip read what you just said that time.
How about now, Warren? There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Time. Yeah. That's another reason. Like everybody's like when I was talking to Borgfeld today, all the Scale Electric stuff and the Tamaya.
Yeah.
It's all held up because of the dock strike, and they've released some because it's again partial. I guess one dock reopened, like you were just saying.
Yeah.
And the other one hasn't yet.
Okay, now Canada Post has been taking a huge loss in the last 5 years. Okay, in 2023 they took a $748 million deficit. In 2022 it was a $548 million deficit. In 2021 a $490 million deficit, and in 2020 they took a $779 million deficit. So as you could tell, Canada Post is not running in the plus, not even close. So to have the union want 23.8% is pretty crazy when you think about it.
No, that sounds about normal.
Well, right. So, and the problem is, when COVID hit, Canada Post got hit really hard because everyone found alternate ways to deal with their packages. So, like places like Temu, imagine Temu just totally took off like a rocket. So right now, they're so far apart on the weekends. This is the problem they're having with the weekends now, okay? Canada Post needs to run 7 days a week in order to be competitive because every single other company is, okay? Canada Post is the only delivery company that is not delivering at least 6 days a week. The problem with that is very obvious, plus the volume. So what they are trying to do is Canada Post wants to hire part-time employees outside of the union to work on the weekends. Now, the problem with that is the union says, because they have a contract stating that their unionized members get this, guys, double time if they work any hours on the weekend at all, whether it be Saturday or Sunday, double time. The Canada Post says that's absolutely crazy. We can't afford that. So what they want to do is hire part-time workers who would obviously get lower wage, blah, blah, blah. Now, Canada Post boasts about having a 95% full-time. Most of their employees are full-time employees, 95%. What the union is also asking for is all of the janitorial companies that are been hired from outside of the company. The union wants to make them permanent workers. So, okay, so that's where we are up to this particular moment. The next catch is the problem is the whole, and now it's a wage increase. They have to, what they need to do, Canada Post has absolutely no choice, but they're stuck because they're already in a contract that allows only their full-time carriers to work on the weekends. And Canada Post needs that to budge. So it does seem like there's a little bit of give and a little bit of take. but they're both trying to take. There's no question about it. And the worst part about the whole scenario, guys, and I'm really sorry I couldn't show you the video, but if you want to see it, it's a CBC Canada video. It's called Why Canada Post, and it's striking workers can't reach a deal. It's absolutely fantastic. And to follow up this live, I suggest you guys go watch it. I'll see if I can link it after the show. But in essence, they're nowhere near each other. They're so far away, and you could almost see why. One side has got their hand out and keeps putting their hand out, and the other side keeps doing dumb things like paying their higher ups bonuses when the company, as you just heard, has been running a ginormous deficit for the last, I think it goes back like 8 years. I don't even think they've had a profitable year in the last 8 years. And you heard 779 million, blah, blah, blah million. Lots of millions going on. None of them going in the right direction. So, and then they're doing strange things like, I understand why they did it, but they purchased a whole bunch of electric vehicles because the government made them in order to get the tax rebates. So now all these electric vehicles just sit. They don't actually even use them. They're just using them for their green credit, which is absolutely crazy. So they're busy poking each other with the hot stick right now. The union keeps jabbing the company with stuff like this, like their executives keep getting these huge raises, but yet you normally give raises to people who have done good, but yet the company's losing hundreds of millions a year and we're giving bonuses to these guys. Hey, apparently I'm not the one handing out the bonuses, and it is pretty odd. Yeah. Yeah, you never know.
You are a taxpayer. As a taxpayer, absolutely you are.
Well, that's right.
We're paying for it.
And we'll just keep paying. But in the end, if you have anything tied up with Canada Post right now, don't expect it. It's not coming. It's not coming.
That's terrible, isn't it? And I mean, there must be a huge amount of stuff at Christmas time. You know, it must a massive effect on people, and it seems to be in such a stalemate situation that it's going to be very hard to resolve it.
Think about it. There's 14 days till Christmas, okay?
Yeah.
And even if Canada Post went back to work tomorrow, which they're not
going to catch up.
They're still not going to get your parcel to your house that you ordered months ago.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. I'm waiting on a few things now that got tripped up. My stuff isn't even with Canada Post. It's with Purelator. But Purelator now said we're not accepting third party deliveries. And that would be anybody who doesn't normally use Purelator. This company that I was dealing with normally used Canada Post. They went with Purelator. Now, apparently, my package is stuck due to weather conditions for the last 2 weeks. Now, interesting. I very much doubt the weather is the problem here. If you ask me, they've taken that. It's a road trailer. It was supposed to be ground shipment. My guess is they just parked that trailer for now and will pick it up when they have spare time or somebody who wants to run some overtime. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's much of a priority anymore. So it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, it is. Pat, you absolutely called it, brother. Same
Greed.
all over the world. Greed. It absolutely is greed.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like I said, you know, I'm trying not to have an opinion here. I have a postal worker.
So
you know, we all deal with Canada Post. My worker, she's great. She gets her stuff here all the time. It doesn't seem to really matter what the weather's like. She still shows up, which is cool. Especially if you're always ordering or expecting things like we all do, man. We're always waiting for something. Slot car in the mail. It's like I'm always waiting for slot car in the mail. And now I'm always waiting for slot car in the mail and printer filament for my 3D printer. That seems like all I'm waiting for. But I tell you what, Amazon is not, it has no problems. No problems. I've dealt with Amazon 5 times since the Canada Post strike, and there's never been a problem. They got to be laughing because they got their own trucks, they got their own distribution centers, and Canada Post is just.
But I mean, we've still got like DHL and UPS and all these courier companies.
Yeah,
they're still delivering, aren't they? They're still working away.
That's right.
You know, so
From-
the Post will lose to them big time.
Yeah, I saw a piece where they interviewed small businesses and how they were being impacted, and it was for some of them it really is hitting them because of the size of their package, like especially that personalized, like the Etsy stuff.
Yeah.
All your crafters that make little Christmas items, and at this time of the year they do a lot of sales, and they can't necessarily ship that with a FedEx envelope or a So like that would have cost what $7 with Canada Post, and now they've got to go and pay $12 to ship it, and then the customer might not necessarily want to do that. I have been fortunate that I had my FedEx guy come in yesterday, and he's like, "Can I just sit down? I want to sit down. Can I sit down for?" I was like, "Sit down, man. Gonna go grab a chair." He's like, "You cannot believe." He's like, "I wish people would just stop buying stuff." He says, and I was like, "Well, it's a catch-22." But he says their volume's up 40% over last year, and that's obviously a portion of that's a spin-off from the Canada Post strike. But but he's seen that kind of volume, and then I get notices every morning from all of them, just basically saying that whatever my ship, because they give me a ship window, like they'll say, okay, if I book it now, it should be there in 2 days or 3 days or 5 days. So I get these warning messages every morning saying that there's going to be delays. There's going to be delays, and the closer we get to Christmas, obviously, there's going to be delays. So I would just encourage people to get their order in early, and the guys are going to do their best. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job for considering they're taking up. Everyone's getting that backloaded onto them, right? FedEx, UPS, Purolator, DHL.
Yeah. Do you remember it was very similar? It was very similar during COVID. Like here in Latvia, we've companies, same thing, DHL and all, and they started opening these boxes, like little bin boxes beside all the shops where you put your number in and you take your stuff out of the box. These companies became huge in that year of COVID. They absolutely became huge, and they've kept the business. People now in Latvia, there's a place called Omniva we use. Everybody just uses it now because it's only €3 or €4, so they don't even go near the post office anymore.
Talking to some small business owners, that's generally the consensus is that some of them, now that they've done this pivot and they've moved to other carriers, that they might not necessarily go back to Canada Post.
Yeah,
that they're kind of done with them.
So they've lost out big time.
Okay, so. Yeah. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this one more time. So I think this will work this time because I forgot to hit the tab that says share audio as well. So we're going to try this one more time. And if you guys can't hear him, we'll shut him down. And then he has to go home for the night. And that's all there is to it. Let's get him up here. Here we go. Okay.
Most workers go on strike. The vast majority of letter mail just doesn't get delivered. Then,
do you guys hear him this time?
Canada Post figures with 55,000 workers on strike since mid-November.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
It's missed out on an estimated 10 million package deliveries. And Canada Post needs your business because it just announced a third quarter loss of
more than $300 million.
$315 million.
$315 million.
And the negotiator tasked with bringing the two sides together to find a resolution to this contract dispute.
Mediated talks between Canada Post and the union representing its workers have been suspended.
Yeah, they gave up. The two sides apparently weren't even on the same planet. And this is after days of direct mediated talks.
I'm extremely frustrated with this turn of events. These negotiations have not budged. Have not budged in over 8 days under a special mediator.
So why is this negotiation proving so difficult? And how might it end? So how far apart is far apart? About 12.5%. Canada Post has proposed an 11.5% wage increase spread out over 4 years, whereas the union has asked for 24% over that same time period.
Unions are doing this everywhere. Inflation's been devastating for our members. They can't pay their groceries or their rent.
Postal workers have fallen far behind, as many people within the society have fallen behind. We've seen inflation go through the roof.
So let's look at inflation. If the goal of a pay increase is to beat inflation, and we peg it at its ideal target, 2% per year, that's 8% over 4 years, Canada Post's offer beats that. But when has inflation ever been at 2%, right? Well, last month it was exactly at 2%. And the month before, it was actually lower at 1.6%. But take the whole year into account, and inflation so far in 2024 is 2.5%. Last year, 3.9%. The year before, 6.8%. And it was 3.4% the year before that. Altogether, that's a 16.6% increase in the cost of living over 4 years. In that sense, 11.5% doesn't seem to cut it, does it?
Solidarity!
With our members off for a week, we've already lost 2% of our annual wages. Any wage increase will not make up for that 2%, but we're fighting for the survival of good jobs for Canadians.
And 11.5% is on the low side of what public and private sector unions in general have negotiated the last few years. The federal government actually keeps track of major labor negotiations. And if we zero in on the transportation industry, which includes Canada Post, we can see the average annual wage settlement this year and the last reached as high as 4.2% per year. That equals, on average, a 16.8% wage increase over 4 years. And if you look at other prominent negotiations this year, there's certainly room to negotiate up. Take dock workers in Montreal, who are also federally regulated.
The Maritime Employers Association tabled what it called its final comprehensive offer on Thursday and locked out nearly 1,200 workers after they rejected it.
They were offered 12% over 4 years and rejected it, demanding instead 20% to match offers made to their counterparts in Halifax and Vancouver. It's not clear Montreal dock workers will get what they're asking for, but when it comes to Canada Post's side of the story, they have a very simple response to their union's wage demand. We're already broke.
There's DIY, and there's doing it yourself.
Canada Post has been hemorrhaging money for years. And I know this because I've gone through their annual financial statements. They're down $748 million last year alone. The year before that, $548 million. Minus $490 million, minus $779, minus $153, minus $276. Over the last 6 years, Canada Post has lost almost $3 billion. And unlike other crown corporations, this is a company that has to turn a profit because it doesn't get government money. Here's the state of their business in their own words. Letter mail volumes have eroded significantly. There has been a major decline in our cash position. Canada Post's financial situation is unsustainable. Its long-standing role is under significant threat, and we expect to fall below our required operating and reserve cash requirements by early 2025. That last one means they'll be out of money by early next year.
This is when Canada Post makes most of its money. So the rest of the year, if it's losing money, it's making money in these few weeks between kind of Black Friday and Christmas and New Year's.
And mail delivery is labor intensive. You need people making those rounds. And we can see in Canada Post's latest annual report, salaries and benefits make up the majority of all of their operating costs, almost $4.9 billion in 2023. Wow. That's almost 63% of their budget.
Essentially, the company has said it can't afford what the union is asking for.
And this brings us to Canada Post's other big problem, that over the last few years, they've lost the most lucrative part of their business.
The explosion of e-commerce that occurred during the pandemic caused the e-commerce companies to re-examine their cost of distribution. And they found it was too high from both Canada Post and the traditional couriers. So they sought alternatives, and the gig industry of delivery came into being at radically lower costs.
Pre-pandemic, Canada Post controlled 62% of the package delivery business in Canada. But smaller, nimbler companies swept in with an employee business model that was the opposite of Canada Post's. Low overhead, low cost, few benefits.
Financially, things are very challenging. The reality is things have moved so quickly in the last 2 years that the platform we've built in terms of increasing our volumes in parcels due to e-commerce has been chipped away by the competition.
And in Canada Post's own annual report, we are the only major carrier that does not offer regular 6-day-a-week delivery in major urban centers. Some competitors offer 7-day-a-week delivery nationally.
We didn't expect our market share to drop that quickly and for the competitors to take that much of the volume.
Parcels are the single most important way Canada Post makes money, about half of its total business. But every piece of this pie, parcels, letter mail, junk mail, they've all gotten smaller. The company wants to change that by expanding package deliveries into the weekend. But the union disagrees on exactly how to do that. And some experts think this might actually be the more important issue.
Here's the big catch, guys.
The company says in order to even survive, it needs to be able to deliver 7 days a week.
Canada Post has a collective agreement that says you get double time on the weekend, which makes them even more uncompetitive. So what they're, to get around the problem, is they're saying we want to hire a whole bunch of part-time people at a much lower salary who will work on the weekend without time and a half.
Meanwhile, the union is saying they're really concerned that it might kind of cut into full-time jobs. They think that full-time employees should be able to take those weekend shifts.
The makeup of Canada Post workforce is something that both sides have fought fiercely over. According to the corporation, 95% of mail delivery teams right now are full-time. And the union doesn't want to see that number erode because even Canada Post itself admits to make weekend delivery a reality, it would need to rely on part-time workers who earn less money, have less benefits, and who may ultimately have fewer protections.
They want to create a part-time, low-wage, gigified workplace at a Crown corporation, and CUPW knows that that's not the best way for us to go. We do have the ability to do this work with full-time workers, and they already have the ability to do weekend delivery right now.
Unions are loath in everywhere to give up hard-won fought rights and benefits at the negotiating table achieved in the past. It's this idea you don't go backward, you go forward. Canada Post is arguing, in essence, if we don't become competitive in parcels, it's going to be the death of Canada Post.
Meanwhile, every day that the strike goes on, Canada Post's financial position gets worse and worse.
We could post a record loss this year. The fourth quarter is where we make our money. It's our busiest time of year. Nothing coming in, no revenue, no parcels. Those parcels are going elsewhere and having a huge impact on Canada Post, as well as the rest of the country as small businesses and charities try and scramble and find alternatives.
Now, wages and weekends are just two issues on the table. And this story keeps moving. As I record this, the latest turn, Canada Post has begun laying off striking workers, which they say is in line with the Canada Labour Code. The union says it's a scare tactic. But what's abundantly clear here is that the two sides appear unwilling or unable to meet in the middle. And a freeze in talks could not have come at a worse time for Canada Post or the people who rely on it during the holidays.
So that's it, guys. Literally, that is exactly everything that's going on. And as you could plainly hear, both sides have delusions of grandeur, and they're both expecting big things to happen.
It's a mess.
it is a very, very big mess. And literally, even if now they said today we're going back to work tomorrow, your stuff is not going to show up by Christmas. It's just not going to happen. So it's greed on. Well, I want to say it's greed by both sides, but when Canada Post is running a $779 million deficit, I don't know if they're being greedy by telling the union, we're not going to give you 23%. That's ridiculous. That is literally 6% a year. No, but 6% a year? That is crazy. I've been a part of 2 unions and we negotiated 3 per year, 3% per year, and 2.5% per year. Never anything greedy like 6. If you ask me, they're dipping in, and the end result can only be one thing. Canada Post locks the doors and shuts everybody out because you can't keep running a deficit. And like they said, by the middle of next year, they will have no disposable cash, meaning their business is done. So
yeah, and everybody's gone to other courier companies.
Right. And like they plainly said, they pretty much lose money for 10 months of the year and only make profit in November and December. So you can plainly see where this is going to go. They're talking about record deficits, more than $779 million. Absolutely, because at least last year they were working during Christmas. They're not this Christmas at all. I could easily see it being $1 billion. Canada Post is going to go $1 billion under before the first quarter of next year. And that's really sad. I just, what it's going to do is it's going to create a very interesting atmosphere in Canada when it comes to deliveries. But like I said, there are other places, other people that have already filled the hole, and some of them are already stopping. So like Purelator and FedEx, I heard, were stopping third-party deliveries, meaning if you're not their usual person, then you don't get to be on their list because they're so incredibly busy. They could just say, we don't need your business right now. They could literally say that, because without Canada Post, that pushes, what did they say, a couple $1 billion, $4 billion worth of parcel packages into other companies' hands. Now, once these people from these other companies get comfortable using the other delivery methods, what do you think's going to happen? There's nowhere for it to go, right? Yeah. So,
Dan, we have an echo there. So one of us has the volume. Have you got the echo canceling?
Echo?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to thank everyone for watching the video and staying here through it. I know it was a little bit long, but if you're wondering what was going on, that is 100% from I'd say the horse's mouth, but he didn't look like a horse to me. But from that guy, he did a really good job of explaining it. And like he says, they're not even close. It's a pipe dream. It's just not going to happen like that. So anyways, so with all of this Canada Post stuff going on, last week we heard what's been going on with Sunday slot cars. This week I thought we would have a Canadian retailer on as usual. Warren here from lighttechslots.ca joins us. Once again, Warren, I want to thank you for joining us. I absolutely appreciate it. Warren has a unique perspective because, as you guys know, or if you don't, you will today, and you can make use of lighttechslots.ca. Warren is a Canadian dealer of slot cars and games and has to deal with these problems. So he was the first person on my mind when it came to letting all of these things go on. And Warren's throwing out the checkered flag here. So
checkered flag, let's go. So
here we go. All right. So, question number one, I'll ask a few questions, guys. If you have any questions for how Warren is dealing with his business and the shipping portion, what's up?
You throw me in front of a bus. You tell me there was questions.
Hey, I told him we were also having.
I'll try my best.
I told him we were having pizza and cake.
Dan, we're getting terrible echo.
Yeah, it's because of Warren's reception.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec. Let me try this.
Yeah. Warren, have you got your audio turned down? Yeah.
No, we got it.
Yeah.
Is it good now?
Testing 1, 2. All good. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, we're good. It's because I had probably still had that thing going. Maybe.
Okay, good to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my first question to Warren is: so, Warren, were you on this right away? Like, did you see it coming, or did this hit you and you were like, "Oh my god"?
No. I was. You heard about it coming in the news, right? So kind of made preparations for it, and then I looked at other avenues and contacted other providers, and then basically talked to other small businesses and seen what they were going to do and how they were going to react to it.
Right.
And basically just we all shared information. It was like, hey, contact this guy. He's a brokerage here or whatever, and we all kind of got through it. And actually, I'm really happy with the way things worked out, because as sales increased now too, going into the Christmas season, I was able to just send it. I had stuff going into Brunswick, and I was worried because some people are like, "You'll never ship. It's not going to happen."
Right?
And I'm like, I was like, "Why wouldn't it? Like, FedEx is not affected, UPS is not affected, and if it's if it used to take 2 days and it's now taking 3, will still be." To that end, I just shipped to Alberta on Monday, and he got it today.
Oh, nice.
And it said it was going to arrive on Thursday, so it arrived a day early. And the customer emailed me or texted me, and I was like, "Fantastic! This is great." So they were really happy. They got it a day early.
It's good to hear that people are still buying, and that you got things hooked up for everybody. Fantastic. Yeah. I know you're always thinking about these things, right? So to me, it just seems like something that I would wait for someone to do for me, but it always seems like you're on the ball, Warren, and that's absolutely fantastic.
I try to be.
Yeah.
So
what are you finding people are wanting as of late? With
in the software world?
Yeah.
Right now, it's been tracks. Tracks have been selling, and it's because it's the season, right? And a lot of the starter sets. I had Inferno of Speed all sold out. Starter sets, which are the Mustang set with the GTYs.
Yeah.
Same thing, all gone, sold out. Down to one retro set.
That was the one I just seen you posted. Someone just bought that, right?
Yeah. Well, I had 3. They're all, so I'm down to 1 now. And there's no more coming. As soon as I saw it come into the warehouse, like I watched the inventory coming into Canada too. I get a list, and so I can see what's coming. Like I know next week we're getting it's all Scale Electric, because Borgfeld is the supplier distributor for both Scale Electric and Carrera. So
nice.
I get a list of what's going to come in the containers, and then basically but I have a whole bunch of stuff that's still on back order for 2024, because Carrera still hasn't released the last bunch of cars, and then now they just announced the Formula Ones, so I jumped on that. I had the guys calling me. My Tuesday night guys were all like, "I want all 4." Some of them,
all right,
all 4. Like you got to pick one. You can only. I was like, okay, 4's fine. I was like, look, and I told them, look, I'm putting all the numbers in. I'm going to pre-order all this stuff. It's no guarantee that we get it. Hopefully we do. Because again in Canada, we always feel like we're on the back burner as far as priorities for them, right? But they don't want us to. They don't want to make us angry. No, I'm joking. So I've put the orders in for the F1 stuff. That's all coming, and then and I'm wondering if that's to do with because you had the F1s and you had like 917s and you had a bunch of the older discontinued stuff from 2017, 2015 was all on AliExpress, and I wonder if that was coming out of the Carrera warehouse or something. It's like was bizarre. So suddenly now they're giving it to their dealers, which is fantastic. So it'll come. It's gonna come back to everybody that wants it here in North America as well.
Yeah.
So we'll the one thing about it is that for the collectors, I know that's going to hurt a little bit, and even for myself, because I had one of the cars here, and I think I had it at, because I looked at auction prices and everything, and I had it listed at 199. Well, now if Carrera re-releases that car's not worth 199 anymore, because now you're getting more coming into market. So really, it's going to be $85 or $90. What $95? I know that there's going to be some people out there that are going to take them, put them on eBay for $250. That's a guarantee. But what are you going to do? There will be people that will try and there's a couple dealers that do that. You see them. It's like, oh, they got 25 of them. Or 24. They bought 2 cases, and they're asking like exorbitant prices for them. But when they've got all the stock, but see, those, to me, that's where it should have been distributed to 10 dealers or 20. Everybody should have got 2, kind of thing. 12 dealers, and everybody should have got 2.
Oh man,
that's
crazy.
Huh?
That's crazy, hey?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's like kind of like the just a little backstage what happens in the periphery there with us as dealers, right? But the people don't necessarily know what's going on in the background, but that does happen. So share that with you guys. But that's basically what I see, and then Carrera's got a great product. Looking forward to the 2025 calendar or catalog. So I'm surprised we haven't been able to see it yet. See what's on there, what's new, and then I've got Revos. They're in the mail. They're in Vancouver, held up with this strike. So who knows? I'll see those next year, maybe. But
maybe.
So
maybe.
But in the meantime, I made arrangements again. Then I just won't use Canada Post for Revos. They're going to come via some UPS or somebody else. So there, it's just you just switch and pivot. Like you're not going to be held hostage by these guys.
Right.
I wish them the best. It's a horrible situation for them, for the country, for taxpayers, for everybody. So how do you resolve that? And it is. They're talking about it might. It's the future of Canada Post. It might sell it off completely.
I even got a warning from eBay about my eBay store, and if I use Canada Post at all, and I'm like, that's all I use, right? So so that's a thing. But people are finding ways around it, and there's always a way. Like Canada Post isn't the only. I think people just got comfortable, right? You get comfortable. Things are easy. Canada Post, they're what they call the last point delivery, meaning that Canada Post will deliver your package anywhere as long as there's an address anywhere. The problem with this strike is northern, like Iqaluit, northern communities aren't getting their food because Canada Post delivers their food. Now, when you say, "Oh, well, skip the dishes," no, like their food. Their milk, their meat, their potatoes, all gets delivered. So when Canada Post isn't rolling,
that's hopefully the government steps in and dedicates some resources to that, or has the military go and help out as if it's like an emergency situation.
I have a feeling that's about to happen. They're going to be mandated to go back to work.
Exactly, or force those guys to go back to work. You have to, because it's absolutely essential, right?
there's legal documents caught in the mail. Passports are caught in the mail. And Trudeau wants to give away another check, whatever. How is he going to do that if the mail's not being delivered? I know some of us just get direct deposited, but the rest, some people still get checks.
It's nonsense. Anyway, I'd rather discuss slot cars.
That's right. So, what are you finding are the big sellers lately, Warren? Like, I know you're just talking about Skillectric and the prices with them seems
apparently
to me.
Yeah. Hopefully, we might see some new pricing for the new year on the new releases. That there might be some savings there, and some of the older molds, the ones that they produced thousands of, will come in at a better price point. So it'll make it more affordable for the customer at the end of the day. For me, it's been Carrera mostly, and some scale auto here and there, and that's pretty much it. The NSRs and it's a little bit of everything, I guess. And tires, tires. Because I've started carrying Slot Invasion and Super Tires and Quick Slicks.
Oh wow!
So I have both.
Nice.
Yeah. But I haven't. What I have to do is, again, that's kind of like a word of the mouth thing, and I don't know how to get the message out. For a moment, getting that word out, doing my promotional stuff for YouTube, YouTube social media. I have been lacking in that department, so I'm really just scrambling. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going, and then so a lot of people don't know. But a lot of people do, and then they're like, blah 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 blah. You need this size, that size, and then I text them, and I'm like, I got them, and they're like, it's like 2-3 days later, they're like, yeah. Then they're like, me. Then it's like, okay, I'll see you at the shop. Boom, boom, boom. They come pick up their stuff. It's like where I ship it. So that's kind of what's been going on, and it's a lot of. Like I did the Christmas show a week ago. A lot of people interested in the hobby, and they're looking at it and they're like, oh, like me and my dad used to race cars back in the day, and then they're like, yeah, you know what, I want to get a track and I'm gonna race with my kid, and then they came back into the store during the week and picked up a track. So that was nice. Like that guy Jim yesterday that I posted it on Facebook. He had a track and he got rid of it in 2010. He moved, and so the people that bought his house liked the track, and so they were like, "Can you leave it?" And he's like, "Sure." He left the track. He never got one for his new house, so he hasn't had a track since 2012. And then his wife saw me on the weekend at the show, and so she told him, "Hey, there's a local dealer." And so he came in and bought a track.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, that's what you hope will happen, right?
Yeah. And then, he called me tonight. He's set up his track already. Called me. He's like, I want a pit lane. I want to coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
I said to him when he picked it up. I was like, if you expand and you want to grow, you're going to need a pit lane. You're going to need App Connect. All the regular accessories. And he was like, yeah. He wanted to get going, right? He's like,
yeah.
Then he calls me. He's like, oh no. He's like, I want some more turns. I want some straights. I want another lane changer, and App Connect and pit lane. I was like, perfect. So I'll set off to you tomorrow.
Right. Oh my gosh, eh? Oh, yeah. It doesn't take long. Like I always say, man, all you got to do is get the controller in their hand. It's pretty hard for just about anybody to say, no, I don't want to race at that point. You're already there. Squeeze the trigger, honey.
Yeah. If I can see the comments sliding by here, but I think I need a new pair of glasses because I'm not sure if anyone's asking me questions or I'm not ignoring.
I'll let you know.
I'm just going blind.
I'll highlight it for the blind people in the room.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, well, I can't see that from where I'm at.
No problem.
Yeah.
Pat just says he loves the stories.
Yeah.
Yep. Apparently that's the case.
That people getting back into the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, they're you know, like everybody's got those memories.
Yeah.
Of you know, racing with your brothers or your family, or you know, especially around this time of the year, Christmas time. It was you got your set and then you started racing.
Right. And if you had a sibling, that means you always had a racing partner. And I had a brother who was 2 years younger than me. So we raced like crazy nuts for like hours and hours and hours.
And you gave him the slow car.
Yeah, always.
Not on purpose. No. Big brothers won't admit that.
I will.
I had 2 younger brothers, so I'm not guilty of that.
All right. Well, speaking about racetracks, Harry's been really busy.
Really?
Last week. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but guess who got 1,000 subscribers?
Dan! Oh, me. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got that 3 years ago. But today's your day, brother. Today's your day.
I led this to changing the angle of my finger. Oh my gosh.
So for those of you who've been hiding, Harry got to 1,000 subscribers. So congratulations, Harry. Absolutely fantastic. And like I said, we will get you there, and it will be before Christmas. If you remember, it was only the last show I said that. Only the last show.
Yeah, Dan said to me, oh, you have 1,010. And I was like, no way, it won't happen. And he was absolutely bang on, so that's amazing. Guys, I want to say, while I have the opportunity, thanks very much to everyone who subscribed to me and helped me out. Listen to me talking absolute rubbish.
Newest member of the 1,000 Talking Rubbish crew. Yeah.
Now I'm going to have a little competition to celebrate, and that'll be. I'll stick that competition up on my channel sometime in the next, probably in the next 5 days. And it'll be a very simple prize. It'll be one of my Scale Slot Car t-shirts, but I'll post that to anywhere in the world. So it's for my subscribers. They'll answer the question. I'll ask the question. They'll answer it on my channel in the comments. And I don't care if you're in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, America, wherever you are, UK. I'll post that to you if you answer the question correctly. And the first person to get it correctly, and there'll only be one guess for each person. So put it in your comment, and that's your guess. And then after a few days, I will let you know the answer if you're right or wrong. So,
welcome, Caesar. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, giveaway time sounds like to me. Yeah.
I have to do something. I have to celebrate with something, you know. And hey, listen, while we're doing our stuff, we'd Fox and the Walls coming in, we'd Dennis coming in, we'd Chris coming in. So we'd a few people join us while we were doing our thing. Yeah, so welcome everybody.
No, I don't do any breakdancing.
Oh wait!
Oh,
wrong side.
I think I pulled something doing that.
Wave.
The wave, yeah. All right, Harry, what's going on with your track, brother? Now that we got the cat out of the $1,000 bag.
Listen, wait till you hear this now. I'm spilling the beans here. I was going to do it in the post, but I'm full of posts. I've so much crap on my phone. I've no memory left, and I've about 3 posts ready to go. I pulled it all apart today. Because I got to run the car. I got it all connected. I ran the car, ran my Pioneer Legend, which was my test car, and I wasn't happy with how it ran. So I disconnected a whole lot, and I simplified the track. It's more like a test track now, because I had my big track in the garage, but I didn't like the way it ran. Did you ever design a track and you ran a car and it just didn't click? You know, you just thought, I'm not excited to run this. So I thought I had the perfect design. I decided to pull it all apart today. So,
of course you did. Of course you did.
You know, just when I got the last connections done, I have a video coming up how I cut the track and all that, and that video is quite funny in itself because it's a bit of a train wreck TV. But I got all connected, ran a test car, and said, "Nah, don't like this," and pulled it all apart last time.
That's
So,
awesome.
It's all pulled apart, but it's ongoing. It's ongoing. So
Thanks for joining us, John. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, that's funny. That's well, the same thing happened. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna move some track around on my HO track, and then finally it's like, I think I'm just gonna redo the whole thing, and now I can see my pool table again. So it's been 3 years since I could see my pool table, and I could actually see it again. And I got half of my my downstairs living room back. Awesome.
Yeah.
So all I've been doing is putting 3D printed projects on it.
Yeah, you do a lot of 3D printing still.
My interesting fact: my wife won the internationals in Las Vegas in 2010 for 8-ball and and second in 9-ball. Yeah,
second in 9-ball. Wow.
8 and one or the other that way. I should remember this. I shouldn't have brought that up if I didn't know it 100%. But yeah, she can play pool. She'll pay you for beers, and I'll get drunk.
Yeah, they call that sharks.
No.
Shark.
It's called free beer.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing I need to say, guys. If somebody in Canada wins, don't expect your T-shirt anytime soon.
Yeah,
because we're talking Canada Post. Yeah,
I can see out, Harry. I've got a list of shippers.
You know what it is, Harry? Is that the checks in the mail, brother? Checks in the mail.
No, you're not. If you win, you're not getting nothing. I'll send you a sticker, guys. As well, I'll put a couple of the stickers in with the T-shirt as well. So
Yeah.
There you go. Spoiled rotten. Absolutely spoiled rotten. You there?
Yeah. Yes. Now I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be like that. Those Bitcoin. I don't know if you've seen the new Bitcoin thing on Netflix. It's it's the story about the two that rip off $4.5 billion of Bitcoin. Complete idiots, and they couldn't figure out how these people managed to do what they did. But yeah, it's crazy. Got to get into Bitcoin. Got to have a little chat with our good friend Arares Carrera. He's been pushing the Bitcoin, so I got to see what it's about. I think because blow me over. Whatever's going on with Bitcoin here, I think I need a piece of it finally.
On another subject, let's move away. On another subject, I've been checking Slot Car Union's page all the time, trying to see if these new Formula One career cars, absolutely nothing about them. And Slot Car Union are a huge European company selling slot cars. There's not a word about these Carrera cars, so I don't know. And we're in Europe. I mean, we're up the road from the factory. It's very strange that we're not getting. I see nothing about.
It's usually the other way around. You guys get it first, and then we get it second. So maybe it went our way for once.
I mean, you guys got the NASCARs before we got the NASCARs. So again, it's.
We are the market for them. So
that's it, right? North America is a NASCAR world.
Probably,
for sure.
Yeah. And I think they sold a lot of NASCARs. Warren, had you got a lot of NASCARs going out?
Yes. I still have some though. I do still have some, but I did sell a lot.
Yeah.
Which ones do you have left, Warren?
I've got enough of one of each, and I've also got Evolution. I have Digital and Evolution. Well, I have at least 2 or 3 of each left over. But I mean, we're in the final week of going into Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So.
Huh.
Clear what is saying, color of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play all over here: Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. And Ontario.
And which ones are selling the best? Do you find of the NASCARs?
Of the NASCARs? The 9 and the 5, which is don't know what who the drivers are right off the bat. Where are they?
Elliot, and is the number 9 and
9 and 5.
Oh, that's a name I didn't recognize.
Chase Elliott, and then the other guy. Yeah, I know. Somebody's gonna be like, "You should know that." Like, no, that kind of just that went,
Larson.
I know that this is a 908
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
What's that other car that everyone's ranting about at the moment? It's like a Le Mans prototype car. It's orange and there's a fantastic exhaust at the back and all. It's
the Lola. The Lola.
I don't know. It looks fantastic. It looks really nice.
Elliott and Larson. No Drama says Elliott and Larson. Yes, thanks. No Drama. The I don't know, the Thunderslot. I think it was a Thunderslot Lola that was coming out.
I really like the look of it.
NSR is coming out with a Lola as well to compete against this. The 908 903 is kind of like dominant.
Really nice looking car, man.
Yeah, they're fun. They're like, so I got a couple different liveries of that. One of my favorite cars, right? That was the transition. So, before to the the 917.
And
so
do you have
went
the NSR? Sorry,
nice.
Warren. Do you have any NSR tampos left?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I got some more. Yeah, just contact me. I can send you a photo afterwards. We can talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, if you're looking for good deals on brand new NSRs that have mysterious things wrong with the decals, you can't even barely notice anything. They look absolutely fine. I own 2.
They have paint fishes that are making them not perfect.
Yeah,
so
I don't know what the ones that were wrong with the ones I bought. I couldn't find anything. Carrera couldn't find anything with his cars.
Driver's eye is looking in the wrong direction or something.
Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah.
Under his helmet.
Gotta lift the skirt, I think, eh? Look under the skirt. Is that how it goes?
Well, the other day on 132 Slots, there was a whole post and it had 50 comments on there where the guy got his car and the window had a scratch in it, and he was like, this is completely unacceptable, blah, and he's already sent off a thing, and he wants the car replaced, and but it's like, why would you go and put that on social media? Is it necessary? They're going to replace the car, so why would you go and then lambaste them and try and cut them out? Like they could see the little scratch on the windshield. It came from the factory. It was in the box. It was still sealed. So that's right from the factory. So yeah, they had a QC issue. You weren't happy with it. You asked for a replacement car, and they were sending you one. Why would you go and now tear out?
People like to have it rants, don't they? They like the sympathy vote online and all. I've got Carrera cars where the plastic lid on the box had a little crack in it, and people are going, "I'd send that back." I'm like, why? It's the car inside I want. I don't care if it has I know collectors seem to go crazy about little tiny defects like that. For me, it means nothing at all.
Yeah, if you're a collector, you want that, and then they're gonna replace it. You get it.
Yeah.
I don't see what the point is in going and then lambasting the manufacturer. And
especially if they're replacing the product. If they're replacing the product, there should be posting actually saying, "Got me car, had a little crack, but fair play to Carrera, they said they'd replace it." That's what they should be saying.
Look at the fantastic customer service. Exactly. As opposed to look at this fantastic customer service. These guys are, I had this issue, blemish with a car, and they're taking care of it. And what a fantastic, I'll continue to use them.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely agreed. I'm on the same opinion as Harry as well too. I'm not really concerned at the condition of the case. If you ask me, the case is your armor for what's in it. Literally. Otherwise, they would just put the car in a box and wrap it in cellophane paper. Think about it.
That's the one thing about the new boxes I really do like from Carrera. where they're all individually boxed now. So your cars, you got they're in the tissue, then you got your bubble wrap, and then it's in a box, and then you can then box this box in another box if you want to.
Or
then you can have a
send
box
it straight out in that box, right?
What's that?
You can send it straight out in that box. Can you not? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's a decent because there's the tissue paper's wrapping it, and then there's still bubble wrap, and then it's in the box.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with Pat. I rip the car out of the box and run the hell out of it, but that's just me. No,
yeah, well
that's
said,
you
Pat.
and me
That's what,
and Harry.
That's what I do. I run the hell out of it, and then I crash the hell out of it. It's
Yeah,
painful.
I couldn't give a damn about the box.
that sounds like a wild man. I'm with him.
God.
With him. Run it.
I got such a big wall of boxes now. Like,
Oh
what
gosh.
the hell? Who wants to see my box collection?
Oh, you can see my recycle pile when I got that last shipment, man. It was ridiculous because I was cutting the boxes and folding them in half and sticking them inside of the other box, and I had boxes on boxes on boxes. So, but at the same time, like Amazon, I don't even know how they get away with it when they're supposed to be so environmentally conscious and the rest of it. They'll send you a big box like this for a little item, and it's stuck in a packet. Plastic packet inside of a box this big. It's like, here's your pencil.
Right?
Well, they do the bubble wrap envelopes too, but a lot of times you get a box for a silly item that shouldn't. It's a USB memory stick that's in a big box. So it's like, are you kidding me? So
I'm sending something away very soon, probably tomorrow, and I'm terrified of it getting broken. So I've a load of bubble wrap lined up. I'm going to try and wrap it as carefully as possible because I mean I used to work as a courier, so I've seen the way some of the lads just throw stuff into the vans, and I'm like, oh no! So hopefully it'll be okay.
So what the slot car companies could actually do is they could move to a product that is biodegradable. The PLA filament in the 3D printer is biodegradable. It is the only filament that's biodegradable. All the other ones have additives that make them non-biodegradable. So like this will biodegrade. This is made from stuff like corn syrup and dextrose.
No way.
Yeah. So this will 100% go away. Anything with additive will not.
Put it in a sandwich.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd eat it. Well, maybe. But
bit of salt and vinegar,
You see, like this printed.
Passing we need more edible stuff.
You couldn't use it, and they are doing 3D printing of food now. So,
Dan, is that thing printed that you just showed us?
Yeah, this is one of the dragons that I printed.
Oh, very interesting. Can you make that bigger? Can I have a look at that? Bigger, make your screen bigger, Dan. Give us a look at that. All right, very cool.
It's called a articulating dragon.
From the 3D printer, excellent. Wow. Oh, very interesting. Yeah.
This is called tricolor filament. You can see it's got gold, blue, and green.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that really is good looking. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. So some of the filaments are biodegradable. So if the companies went about using, like for the base, like that black or blue base, just from using Carrera as an example, if they made that out of this particular PLA plastic, it would just biodegrade. It would be gone. So, there are some positives. They just got to work them in, right? I mean, nobody deliberately wants to poison the world. I mean, I hope not anyways.
Biodegradable peanuts. Like I bought a big bag from Uline, and it's also cornstarch.
Cornstarch,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. The peanuts are actually squishy, and they work like a peanut, like a regular styrofoam peanut.
Yeah.
But you just throw them out on when you're done with them, you could put them on your lawn, and then just use a hose pipe and spray them.
And they disappear.
Or throw, however you want to dispose of them. You just need they come in contact with water. They just.
You know what those reminded me of? Those reminded me of the popcorn twists. Remember popcorn twists? they like
No.
melt on your tongue?
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
it was like popcorn, like.
Yeah, well, no, it's like it's not actually popcorn. It just looks like it has
Okay.
the texture of the fluffiness of the popcorn, but it melts in your mouth right away as soon as it gets wet, and
So,
that's what the peanuts remind me of.
So this sounds like corn cotton candy.
Not really. I'll see if I can get a bag and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Hey, don't put it in the post. It'll be gone green by the time you get to it.
Well, we'll have next year's show figured out if I put it in the post.
Sounds happy too.
Someone was
Hey,
talking.
listen, I just say thanks to Fast Sports. He had to head off. Thanks for being in the,
yes.
in the chat. Yeah.
What do you guys got on your Christmas list? What have you been dropping hints to your partners?
For myself,
Do you like put a note on the fridge? Like
I was looking at the new Revo Supra. I am, very nice. And I like the Viper. They got like 8 new Viper liveries coming out, but I'm not really excited about the Viper. I was never really into that. Now the Supra, Revo Supra has got me like, oh, that is worthy of my money. Is how
I had those this year, but I had the yellow one, the Supra. It was 2. It was like a limited edition, and as soon as I put them up, they were gone. And then I was like, but it was a nice looking car. What a great looking car. So,
thanks for joining us, Caesar. I appreciate it.
Here you go.
No drama headed off as well. All the best. Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think is the end result for LightTechSlots.ca? Like, is this when Canada Post comes back online? Is this what is your business standpoint when that's
Oh, I'll look. Obviously, that's it depends on whatever they negotiate, and that'll have an impact on the price point. And then obviously it's a free market, and I'll have to determine whether it's a viable option or not.
Right.
If they come in at a cost-effective solution for shipping, I'll obviously use them. I'm going to use the most cost-effective carrier because for myself and my customers. That's what it amounts to. I want to take care of my customers, and I want to give them the best service. And with insurance,
a lot of people might discover that the new service was better than the old, and that's where the Post are going to lose out.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
And Canada Post also mentioned that they're raising their prices by 25% next year.
No, good luck. I've got to go. What's the best for my customers myself? That's it.
Absolutely.
It's a free market. You can't make me use them. Like we haven't crossed that line yet. We're not.
No,
we still have some freedoms left here.
Well, yeah, right. If some guy delivering it on his bicycle, I think is where it might come down to.
Yeah.
Pulling a wagon.
I see Greg was saying something about a Toyota Subaru BMW. Is that to the question about the Christmas wish or something like that? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Toyota Supra BMW. I think he's talking about the new Supra. The AE, I think what are they calling it? A86 or something. The new Supra is a BMW technically because it's using BMW running gear, and it was engineered with BMW and Toyota.
It's like the new Mini. The new Mini BMW.
That's what he's saying. But it's a fantastic looking car.
This is the new Revo you're talking
about.
No,
I think he's talking about the real one, maybe.
Oh.
Maybe he's talking about the slot car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, of course, the new Mini, same thing as all it's BMW made.
Talking about the real one. The real Supra is made by BMW.
Yeah.
It's the same with the Subaru and the Toyota. Whatever their little Toyota, the Toyota and Supra, the BRZ are the same car. It's made by Subaru and badges of Toyota. So you hear my accent come through when I say Toyota. Apparently I'm thinking.
Toyota.
Toyota.
Ireland we go Toyota.
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 Toyota you got there, bud.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see.
Huh.
We'll see what happens.
So I wonder what's happening with like American stuff coming to Canada. Like, is USPS piling it up? How is that working, I wonder?
They've actually told the people in the States. I was over there on Monday. They told people in the States they will no longer accept packages going to Canada, and because why should they take up warehouse capacity and the rest of it, waiting for the guys to find a resolution? They're like, nope, you're not. If it's going to Canada, forget it. You keep it at home. When the situation, you can bring it and ship it. We're not going to do your stuff.
Terrible situation, isn't it? And I mean, your family's sending stuff to loved ones for Christmas, and it ain't going to happen. You know?
Well, the post office. Why should the post office take the liability and all the rest of it and store your item, possibly lose it? You know, the rest and
then people are claiming you lost my item, and then that's a big mess. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to get that. Well, I will be getting the new F1s from Carrera Slots in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I think. Minnesota, wherever.
Carrera Slots?
Just underneath me. And they said they don't even have Canada Post as an option. They took it off even before they put up the F1 cars. So when I was talking to them, they said they don't even foresee them putting a listing for Canada Post ever again.
They've got them on pre-order.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and what does that mean? You know, like it's going to be really interesting because like I've been hearing in the news reports, like third party deliverers are saying no. So
Yeah, they're at full capacity.
Yeah, maybe sheer volume, like it might be worth it for a company like Carrera Slots, but if Carrera Slots, they don't even need to. Do they even need to physically handle the cars, or do they just send them straight on? Like, do they even go to their shop first and then they send them off, or do they just send them straight to us?
Carrera Slots?
Yeah,
Carrera Slots is a warehouse. It's a shop. It's not part of Carrera. It's just called Carrera Slots. It's like genuine.
No, I know. They're just a store. They're a store called Carrera. Yeah, I know that. But like, they would get the cars in, or would they just ship them straight from where they're coming from?
No, they'd get them in and redistribute it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The importer, which is Carrera Ravel North America, wouldn't act as a
in between, sort of pass it on kind of guy.
We're not drop shipping for you. It's like the tail doesn't wag the dog.
Right? Yeah. I know
Yeah.
somebody who's got that totally confused.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's but it's good to hear, Warren, that you got it all figured out, brother, because you're really good in the industry, and it's nice to know that there's a Canadian seller like yourself who has such a wide variety of slot cars and games. Before the show started, Warren showed us his shop, and it's absolutely amazing, guys. Video game. If you've seen Toju's basement with the video games and stuff, that's what Warren's whole entire shop is like. And you could rent all the state, like you can rent PlayStation 5 there and sit down in his lounge. You could play board games.
Yeah, I'm inside of a game store. That's not my you got it a little bit mixed up. That's it. Yeah, but I'm in a game shop, so you've got there's games here, and then you've got rentals. You can have parties, book a birthday party. I have the track too for birthday parties or any function, and then when people come through, they go. They'll come in and but yeah, we've got games here as well.
Nice.
Yes, so you're part of a unit with games and your slot card track.
And it's licensed to have a bar. We have a bar now, and got a little cafe with coffee and donuts and pastries, freshly made cookies and everything. Daily. It changes daily.
Why don't I have this near my house?
Whiskey, yeah.
Never been home.
Irish coffees, and I promise you, I haven't had any tonight. I haven't even had dinner. I'm going home to go have dinner after this.
Right on.
Yeah, my family's at home watching right now. Oh, Joe's late. Look, here's Joe just popped in.
Very late, Joe.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree, Pat. Warren's got a pretty good setup here, brother. That's why that's why most of us, including Herrera Square, thanks for meeting us, joining us, Joe. But that's why me and Joe and Doug Burbridge and all the serious Canadian buyers of large-scale slot cars, that's why we all deal with Warren, because it's such an easy experience. For myself, five stars, always 6 stars. Did I say 5? I meant to say 6 out of 5.
Thank you, Dave.
Always goes the extra mile, and if you're looking for something, Warren will source it for you. He'll find it. He'll get what you need. It may take him some time, but man, this guy digs, and he's always both sides of the border. So he's literally standing there with 1 foot in the States and 1 foot in Canada. So if you can't find it here, then you bet Warren will be traveling to the States, because he does it all the time. So
what I've done over the years is I've built up relationships with other suppliers, and and so I can always source stuff from them and import it. So if there's anything that anyone is looking for, especially if it's like discontinued, collector stuff, I have a guy coming in. He wants 917s. So Porsche, he wants the Carrera 917s because that's what he had back in the day, and so that's my current little project, and I've already found 3 for him. He wanted the Golf one, but I was like, man, the price is going to be steep on that because that's a little bit older. It's like a 2000. But I found him other liveries, so he's got some options.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's on your Christmas list there, Harry? What are you expecting from the slot car Santa?
Well, I've ordered a Carrera Go set for Christmas, but the Formula 1 set. It's not going to get delivered till January, so that's that. but my missus got me some figures, some you're not talking high quality figures, some cheap figures.
What scale?
What's it called? Temu? What's it called? That Chinese company? Temu. She ordered me some figures because, that's good quality you have there. These things, they barely have faces on them, but they're only for crash videos, so they'll be roadkill, basically.
You've got Temu in Latvia?
Yeah. Oh yeah, everybody, we love using AliExpress and Temu. Yeah, they go crazy, man.
Paul Walker? Vin Diesel?
Did you paint any of them yet, Dan?
Not yet, brother. I got to paint these ones here, but I want to get oil-based paint because latex will just peel right off of these.
Will it? Okay, because I was going to paint some. When I get some, I was going to paint them in the latex. So you can't do.
Yeah. Latex will still work. I don't know.
Acrylic paint will work. Yeah.
Yeah, acrylic for sure. Yeah.
Okay, well then I can get some acrylic, but I literally get an art acrylic in the shop for people drawing paintings.
Yeah, Todd, get a hold of me, brother. I printed all these myself. These are in 1/32 scale. There's Gal Gadot. And the other one is that.
Show me. Let me see.
There's Han.
No. Where's Gal Gadot?
Right here.
Let me see her. What? No, closer, Dad. Closer.
Calm down, Warren. Calm down.
Here. But yeah, I got them all, and I could blow them up to any scale or lower them to any scale if you're looking for any HO. But that's all 5 Fast and the Furious. The other one is Jason Statham, and he's holding a gun. I didn't print that because this
is just your Carrera. This is the Hello, I'm a German Fräulein sitting in the crowd waving to the cars. Hello.
That's all I have. I've shown her a few times already. She's my only figure. Her and Darth Vader.
Nice. So okay, and well, for me, the whole thing is I got to get my track figured out. I've now got the roof all printed out for that covered section in the back. I need what I'm waiting for is some glow in the dark filament, because I have some aspects of the track that I want glow in the dark, like guide rail. Because it'll make the night racing that much better, I do believe. And I have some wiring to do now that I've figured out how to wire, and I've printed myself this absolutely kick-ass soldering setup here, so I'm good to go.
Okay.
Did you see my night racing video for yesterday?
Yes, I think I seen part of it.
For some reason, it took away the audio after 15 seconds. I'm like, why would it do that?
That's a good question.
YouTube editor, right?
Yeah, you got music. Had you got music in the background? Copyright music or something?
No, there was no music in the background. It was all quiet, and I added their music. I wanted used Billy Squire in the dark, because it's night racing,
right?
Yeah, but it only played it for 15 seconds, and then it took out the soundtrack, and I couldn't figure out why. I went back into the editor, and I was trying to sort that out, but well, no luck.
Can't use that. That's copywritten music.
But it's their music. I chose it from their
out of their catalog.
That happened to me before the past Warren. It says, "Do you want to use this music? It's free to use." And I used it, and then the next day it was like, "No copyright." I'm like, "You bloody gave me the music to use, and now you're telling me I use copyright music? Come on."
Yeah. And then they tell you, you can take the song out of the video, and then it completely trashes the song, makes it sound really bad. Just re-download it and take the music out if you have that option.
I'll give that tonight or on when I get.
It's a bit of a shame.
I see Joe was looking for some silicone. I don't know why. I thought he was barred from using silicone tires.
Joe's looking for silicones for his Lambo.
Yeah.
His Lamborghini.
I think you should send him U-Terrain tires just to annoy him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
Couple bags of some old Carrera rubber.
Yeah, there you go. Enjoy.
Melting.
Where's
a bag of silicone tires? Oh no, it's a car. Oh, Lambo. Is that a Lamborghini? Yeah.
The Walter Wolf edition.
That's a Countach.
That's the Countach, yeah. Walter Wolf was a Canadian businessman who sponsored racing teams, Formula One teams, and he was one of the first guys. It's a really interesting story if you look at his history. He was one of the first guys to tune Lamborghinis. This wing, when you see a Countach, you see this wing and these air scoops on the back. If you look at the original Countach that came out in 72, it didn't have any of this or that arrow in the front. Walter Wolf is the reason that they put that on the car. So there's a entry on YouTube, and that's how the Countach landed up with this shape. And then Chrysler bought them in '84, and Lee Iacocca and them made this car. That's how you ended up with this Lamborghini. Beautiful. Before that, the car that existed was only this one. This was the only one in the world with all that arrow on it. And it was racing in Japan. And, have you ever heard of Midnight Racing Club in Japan?
No.
It was like, like today you got the Sultans and the guys in Dubai that have got this uber fast cars that are doing all this customized. Yeah. But Midnight Club in Japan were the guys that were doing it. Was all like super rich people. Walter Wolf was one of them, and they were tuning their cars. And that's why he tuned the Lamborghini to the point. So there's a really good documentary on YouTube about it if you guys are interested in Lambos. But these are Joe's. So you need silicon for them.
Wow. $1 million, hey?
Yeah. So, it's a cool Lambo history. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get out of here because I've got to. I still gotta go have dinner, and I've got to vamos back that side. But it's
you can't leave. We're booting you because we're actually the show is over.
Is it?
Warren, you're gonna have dinner at 3:40 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. in the morning at where you are.
You're talking about dinner. I'm like, oh, I'm getting hungry now. I'll be down to the kitchen after this.
Irene made a slow cooker stew, so it's been, it was -40 here today, guys. It's -40, and it will be the same tomorrow. So if you're wondering what -40 is like, the gas in the snowblower line froze up. It never happens. Never.
Yeah,
wow.
So, cold down.
On this cold and blustery -40 day, I want to remind everybody to join us next week. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank Warren for joining us. Thank you, Warren. I absolutely appreciate it every time you're here. Getting your insights and your slot car knowledge is absolutely fantastic, and I personally appreciate every moment of it.
Thank you.
You always have good information, and I appreciate that, and I know the people in our comment section appreciate that as well. To my partner Harry, I want to say thanks for being here for another episode of Monday Night. This isn't even Monday, man. Holy cow! Look at that. I'm so used to saying Monday Night Slot Car Live. I almost fudged it up. Slot Car Weekly, folks. I want to thank everyone for being here. Warren, anything you want to say before we close it up?
No, thanks guys for, again, for everyone's support, and please visit my website. I'm constantly updating it. We do have a discount code, and it's IRRL for 10%. IRRL 10. Joe's going to shout at me, and that's for the for the Global Racing League, and that's pretty much it. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to try and get some more content out. Like I say, I've did some videos. I just switched phones, so I've got some stuff on my phone, and I got to go and tackle that the YouTube editor. But somebody told me yesterday there was some better software for it, so I got to do that. Just get some more content out there, and I'll try and keep you guys entertained, and then go through. I've got a stellar collection of cars here. And I was going to do some driving. You're going to see, this is like these are all demo cars all here. So if anybody comes in, they can try out a car. You go on an NSR. Here's an NSR. Here's Carrera. It's Fly. There's a little bit of everything there. Awesome. And then I've got the controllers, so you can try out Frankenslot or Frankenslot True Speed. Your plungers, your Carrera wireless. And I've got a little bit of everything. I got some 4-wheel drive cars. I've got the some of the Flies, the SEXs over there.
Oh, nice.
I hope I'm good at it. I got a little bit of everything. So
yeah.
You can, I got, and then diecast, and I've got Hot Wheels. And then I was thinking about, I've been throwing Hot Wheels in. So if you buy something right now, that's one of my stuffers. You're getting some really cool Hot Wheels. I mean, I think when you get the CUDA, that was the Fast and Furious, the Challenger, no? Or was it
I got this one.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I got one of those tuned ones here.
Yeah, tuned one with the roof, the like cartoony car. Yes, the Charger. Yeah, look at that car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and those are neat. Those are pretty neat. Those the Hot Wheels. So, but
actually, I've seen one of those.
I'm shipping. I'm not constricted or constrained by the strike. So we go on regardless.
Nice.
Thank you for everybody for your support, and reach out if there's anything specific you need, and definitely we'll try and take care of you. So,
Thanks, Warren. We appreciate it, brother.
thank you guys.
Have yourself a good night. We'll talk to you soon.
You too. You guys. All right. You guys have a good one. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, Warren. Thanks. And guys, just to say, I'll do that competition video question probably about the 18th, probably around the 18th or 19th. So.
And we get to see how a new 1,000 subber acts. I guess High Roller, Harry.
Oh, yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. But I no longer need to look at the going up 1, down 2, down 1, up 2, up 3, down 2. Oh,
yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Because you're there now.
I finally got here, so it's great. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I really appreciate anybody who goes onto my channel and has a look at, because I don't know why you just look at me, to be honest. But anyone who goes and looks at me and enjoys what I do and sticks a comment or anything down,
You're like me, Harry.
Appreciate you.
You're like me, brother. We both got the face for radio.
Absolutely. Well, me, definitely.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me and Harry on another episode of Slot Car Weekly. Next week, we'll be talking about what has brought us so much joy in the slot car world, meaning which cars are our favorites. So we'll have our list ready and we'll talk about them. We'll talk about the pluses and the minuses of what we've chosen. So next week, guys, make sure you have your car ready at the hand so we can all talk what brings us so much joy in our slot car world. Yeah, that's exactly it. It was minus 32 with the windshield, made it minus 42, but it stayed like minus 40 for most of the day. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I absolutely appreciate it. Told you, Todd, get a hold of me, brother, if you are looking to. And everybody else, thanks for joining us tonight. We absolutely appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
All the best, everybody. Thank you for being here.